It's a special debate here on eNCA. We're coming to you live from Hyde Park here in Johannesburg on this Sunday evening, and then we are dissecting. The debate started by Minister Lindiwe Sisulu. We did invite her, and she has promised that she will at some point grace us with her presence. But tonight we will be happy with the panelists to help us understand this. Pali Lehohla, I asked a big question, and I would like you to answer very briefly. Is the Constitution up for review in as far as it being what do you call it, a compromise is concerned? I see we seem to have lost Pali Lehohla there. Okay, Pali Lehohla, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Yes. Brief response. Is it up for review in your view?
Not really. I think there are instruments that can be used, like taxation of property, which the executive has latitude on. And they can tax as much as possible to finance the development and unemployment and industrialization. Of course, the Constitution does allow that there should be expropriation. But there are legal instruments that the executive or the legislature should put in place to do so. So there isn't, I would argue that yes, maybe there is need to amend one or two things, but generally to answer the question that is in the Constitution around healing the wounds of the past and addressing issues of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. Within the context of the Constitution, these things can be done with systems that are appropriate for planning.
So, and, are you saying to me there's nothing in the Constitution that requires dramatic amendment for it to respond to the issues Minister Sisulu is raising about poverty, about blacks being left in the margins, and so on?
Well, the policy choices that the government makes to implement do not require a constitution. If we choose to go free market and deindustrialize, that didn't require constitutional amendments.
All right, that's enough.
These are things that can be redone, and therefore that's it doesn't need a constitutional amendment.
Right. Pallo, Irvin Jim argues that the Constitution itself is at fault in essence and needs to be literally amended in order for it to respond to the issues Minister Sisulu is raising of poverty, of black marginalization, and so on. Your view, are we at that point of re-looking at the whole Constitution at this point?
I think Comrade Jim is raising a completely different issue, because he characterizes our Constitution as a bourgeois democratic constitution.
Yes.
It is. Now, is he calling then for a socialist constitution? I will support him in that. I would support him in fighting for a socialist constitution. But, you see, you don't then throw away what you've got, right? Because the very fact that we're even having this debate is a result of the Constitution we have. Irvin Jim would not be where he is, able to debate issues in the manner he is, if it wasn't for this Constitution. It gives him those rights. It gives him also the right to struggle for socialism. You see, so you don't throw out the Constitution because it has not addressed everything. As I've said, there are democratic constitutions that are 300 years old that have not yet addressed the issue of poverty.
All right.
You see? So if you're calling for a different socio-economic order, that's one thing. Now, I support Jim in respect to that. But what I am saying is this Constitution gives us the capacity to struggle for precisely those things.
Absolutely. Okay.
Now, should we amend it?
Yes, should we amend it?
Where should we amend it?
Yes.
Right? It's wrong to say that if Comrade Lindiwe had not written this article, these issues would not have been debated. Boba Lima raised them some years ago. Other people have raised them in other forums. We have debated these issues many times. What I think has raised people's ire is the manner in which she has raised them, including insults and specifically attacking the Africans in the judiciary, saying they are victims of foreign ideologies, foreign value systems, etc., etc. That is offensive, unnecessarily so as well.
All right.
That is what has caused the problem with Lindiwe's article.
All right.
Not that she has raised issues about the Constitution and the judiciary. It's the insults just thrown at people. That is the issue. That is what Judge Jordan was responding to the other day.
All right, Dr. Jordan, I hear you. Briefly before you go to your break.
No, I think the point I was making, I'm calling it a bourgeois constitution because all of us have got rights.
Yeah.
But to access those rights is determined by your economic position in society. If you have no access to the economy, you can take your child to a school of your own choice. You can choose where you want to live. But if you have no access to the economy to be able to do that...
What would you change now in the Constitution? Briefly, give me just one thing you will change. Forget, let's just pack the land. We'll change that, you and I, tomorrow.
No.
Our parliamentarians have failed us to change it. What else can we change in this?
No, JJ... The fact that there is the judges agreed with me that it's not his fault, it's the ANC that's supposed to have dealt with the question of the property clause in the Constitution, which says you would have to replace value by value. You will not move and address the land question, which is a very disparate issue that must be addressed unless you basically tamper with the Constitution.
All right, we'll take a break. After a break, I'm going to get my guests to give me their parting shots. Paul Ngobeni back on the line, and then I'll ask all the other guests, give me your parting shot about what should we take away from this kind of debate going forward. Let's take a break now.